Okay, we're up to chapter 5. And that means straight line graphs, which I like. And section 1 is gradient and y equals mx plus c. Alright, let's start. Find the gradient of the line joining the points 2, 5 and 6, 17. So we calculate the change in y over the change in x, and the change in y is 17 minus 5, and the change in x is 6 minus 2. Thus it's 12 over 4, which is 3. So yes, the gradient of the line joining 2, 5 and 6, 17 is 3. Rearrange 4x plus 2y equals 9 in the form y equals mx plus c and state the gradient. Okay, 2y equals negative 4x plus 9, so y equals negative 2x plus 4.5. So y equals negative 2x plus 4.5. The gradient m is negative 2, and that's a rearrangement of 4x plus 2y equals 9 in standard slope intercept form, y equals mx plus c. State the y-intercept of the line, 3x minus 5y equals 20. So we need only rearrange things into y equals mx plus c form. So we're going to move the y term to the right and 20 to the left. So we get 3x minus 20 equals 5y. And then we divide everything by 5, but in particular the constant, and that gives us negative 4. So negative 4 is the y-intercept of 3x minus 5y equals 20. Find the gradient of the line passing through negative 3, 7 and 1, negative 1. So once again we use the change in y over the change in x formula. So negative 1 minus 7 over 1 minus negative 3. So that's negative 8 on the top and 4 on the bottom, and thus the gradient is negative 2. So the gradient of the line connecting negative 3, 7 and 1, negative 1 is negative 2. The line has gradient negative 2 and y-intercept 3. find its x-intercept. Alright, so that means y equals negative 2x plus 3, and then we want to find its x-intercept, i.e. when y is equal to 0, and thus we say negative 2x equals negative 3, and so x is equal to 3 over 2, which is 1.5. So 1.5 is the x-intercept of the line with gradient negative 2 and y-intercept 3. Okay, section 2 now, which is finding equations of straight lines. Hello. Find the equation of the line with gradient 3 passing through the point 2, 1. So y equals 3x plus c, and so y equals 6x, so 1 equals 6x plus 7, or rather 1 equals 6 plus 7, so c is equal to negative 5, and thus we say y equals 3x minus 5. So y equals 3x minus 5 is the equation of the line with gradient 3 passing through the point 2, 1. Find the equation of the line passing through 1, 4 and 3, 10. So the gradient is 3. So y equals 3x plus c. And then we can use 1, 4. So c is equal to 1. So y equals 3x plus 1. So y equals 3x plus 1 is the equation of the line that passes through the points 1, 4 and 3, 10. Find the equation of the line with x-intercept 4 and y-intercept negative 2. Okay, so its gradient is 1/2 and its y-intercept is negative 2, as they say. So y equals 1/2 x minus 2. So y equals 1/2 x minus 2 is the equation of the line with x-intercept 4 and y-intercept negative 2. Hello. Find the equation of the line passing through the point negative 2, 5 with gradient of 1/2. Alright, so y equals 1/2 x plus c, and then substituting, 5 equals negative 1 plus c, so c is equal to 6. Y equals a half x plus 6. So y equals a half x plus 6 is the equation of the line passing through negative 2, 5 with a gradient of a half. Oh no, that's actually wrong. That has to be corrected. Alright, try again. Find the equation of the line passing through the point negative 2, 5 with a gradient of negative a half. Alright, using y equals mx at c, y equals negative a half x plus c, and then subbing in 2 for x and 5 for y, 5 equals negative a half times 2 plus c. So c is indeed equal to 6. So y equals negative a half x plus 6. So y equals negative a half x plus 6 is the equation of the line passing through the point negative 2, 5 with a gradient of negative a half. The point k, 7 lies on the line y equals 2x minus 3. Find the value of k. Alright, so 7 equals 2k minus 3, and thus k is equal to 5. So k is equal to 5 for the point k, 7, which lies upon the line y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, section 3. Parallel and perpendicular lines. State the gradient of any line perpendicular to y equals 4x minus 1. The answer is negative 1/4 or negative a quarter. So negative a quarter is the gradient of any line perpendicular to the line y equals 4x minus 1. Find the equation of the line parallel to the line y equals 3x minus... Find the equation of the line parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 2 that passes through the point 1, negative 2. Alright, so we say y equals 3x plus c, and then sub in 1 for x and negative 2 for y. So negative 2 equals 3 plus c, and thus c is equal to negative 5. So the answer is y equals 3x minus 5. So y equals 3x minus 5 is parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 2 and passes through the point 1, negative 2. Oh, beg your pardon. Find the equation of the line passing through. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to 2x at y equals 7 passing through the point 4, 3. Okay, so if it's perpendicular to 2x at y equals 7, then its gradient would be 1/2. And thus we say y equals 1/2 x plus c. But it passes through 4, 3. And thus c is equal to 1. So y equals 1/2 x plus 1. So y equals 1/2 x plus 1 is perpendicular to the line 2x at y equals 7 and passes through the point 4, 3. Find the value of k such that 2x at ky equals 5 is perpendicular to y equals 3x. Alright, so if it has to be perpendicular to y equals 3x, then its gradient should be negative 1/3, and rearranging, so ky equals negative 2x at 5, so k would have to equal 6. So k would have to equal 6 for 2x at ky equals 5 to be perpendicular to the line y equals 3x. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining 1, 2 to 5, 6. The line segment joining 1, 2 to 5, 6 will have a gradient of 1, and the midpoint of 1, 2 and 5, 6 is 3, 4, and as it's perpendicular, the line that we're seeking, perpendicular to this line segment, it will actually have a gradient of negative 1. And so it's got a gradient of negative 1 and passes through 3, 4. And thus we know that c is equal to 7. So y equals negative x plus 7. So y equals negative x plus 7 is the equation of the line that passes through the perpendicular bisector of the points 1, 2 and 5, 6. Okay. Now we have to do section 4, which is length, midpoint, and area. Okay. Find the distance between the points 1, 2 and 4, 6. The distance formula essentially applies the Pythagorean theorem to the change in y and the change in x. And that would be 4 and 3 respectively, and thus the distance is 5. So the distance is 5 between the points 1, 2 and 4, 6. Find the midpoint of the pair of points -3, 5 and 7, -1. So we have to find the midpoint of the x coordinates and then the midpoint of the y coordinates. So that would be 2, 2. So 2, 2 is the midpoint of Alright, it's really hard to store it. Let me try again. Find the midpoint of -3, 5 and 7, -1. So that would indeed be 2, 2. 2, 2 is the midpoint of the pair of points -3, 5 and 7, 1. The midpoint of AB is 5, 7 and A is 2, 3. So find B. The answer is 8, 11. So 8, 11 is point B when we're told that A is 2, 3 and the midpoint of A and B is 5, 7. The line 3x at 4y equals 24 meets the axes at the points A and B. Find the area of the triangle OAB. Alright, so we need to find the y-intercept and the x-intercept. and the y-intercept is surely, well, it's surely 6, and the x-intercept is surely 8, and so 6 times 8 divided by 2 is 24. So yes, 24 is the area of the triangle OAB when we are told that 3x had 4. Just a second. So yes, 24 is the area of the triangle OAB when we are told that 3x at 4y equals 24 meets the axes at the points A and B. Find the distance of the point -5, 12 from the origin. Applying the Pythagorean theorem, we see that the answer is 13. So yes, 13 is the distance of the point -5, 12 from the origin. And now, section 5. Modeling with straight lines. A taxi charges a cost. A taxi charges a fixed cost of £3 plus £2 for each mile. Find the cost of a 7-mile journey. So that would be 3 plus 2 times 7, which is £17. So £17 is the cost of a 7-mile journey for a taxi which has a fixed cost of £3 and then a charge of £2 per mile. The cost in pounds of n items is C equals 20 plus 4n. Find the cost of each additional item. The answer is £4. So the cost of each additional item is £4 when cost C is modelled by C equals 20 plus 4n. A candle is 30 centimeters and is 18 centimeters after 4 hours of burning. Assuming linear burning, find the amount of time after which the candle is blown out completely. Okay, so it burns at a rate of 3 centimeters per hour, and it's 30 centimeters tall to begin with, and therefore it takes 10 hours to burn the candle completely. So it takes 10 hours for a candle to burn completely if we're told that it's 30 centimeters at the beginning and 18 centimeters after 4 hours, and we assume linear burning. Hello. tank holds V equals 500 minus 25t, where t is the amount of time elapsed in minutes. Find the amount of time it takes for the tank to empty completely. So that would be 500 divided by 25, which is 20 minutes. So it takes 20 minutes for a tank to empty completely if the volume of the tank V is modeled by 500 minus 25t. Hi. Plan A costs 10 plus 0.2n. Plan B costs 4 plus 0.5n pounds. Find the value of n when both plans cost the same. So 10 plus 0.2n equals 4 plus 0.5n. So 6 plus 0.2n equals 0.5n. So 6 equals 0.3n. So 6 divided by 0.3 is equal to n. So 60 divided by 3 is equal to n, so n is equal to 20. So when n is 20, plan A and plan B cost the same, and plan A is modelled by 10 plus 0.2n, and plan B is modelled by 4 plus 0.5n. Alright. Now we have to check. Great. Just one. That should be a +4 in the end, but let's check. No, they're correct. They're correct. Yep. Not bad. Not bad. 24 to 25. All right. Okay. Chapter 6. Just do some walking around. All right. We are now ready for chapter 6. Section 1 is the standard equation of a circle. Write down the equation of the circle with center 2, -3 and radius 5. So we're going to use the standard equation of a circle, x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equals r squared, where a, b is the center of the circle and r is the radius of the circle. In this case, a is 2 and b is -3 and c is 5. And thus we get x minus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared equals 5 squared. So yes, x minus 2 all squared plus y plus 3 all squared equals 25 is the equation of the circle whose center is -2. Is the equation of the circle whose center is 2, -3 and whose radius is 5. Write down the center and radius of the circle whose equation is x at 4 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared equals 36. The center is -4, 1 and the radius is 6. So yes, the center is -4, 1 and the radius is 6 of the circle specified by the equation x minus 4 all squared plus y plus 1 all squared equals 36. X plus 4 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared equals 36. Find the equation of the circle at the center of the origin. Find the equation of the circle with the origin as its center that passes through the point 3, 4. Alright, as it passes through the point 3, 4, its radius is 5, and thus its equation is x squared at y squared equals 25. So x squared at y squared equals 25 is the equation of the circle whose center is the origin and which passes through the point 3, 4. Determine whether or not the point 5, 2 lies on the circle x minus 1 all squared plus y minus 2 all squared equals 16. We need only sub in 5 for x and 2 for y. And when we do so, we get 4 squared plus 0 squared equals 16, which is true. So it's true that the point 5, 2 lies on the circle x minus 1 all squared plus y minus 2 all squared equals 16. State in third form the radius of the circle x minus 2 all squared plus y plus 5 all squared equals 20. The answer is the square root of 20, which is 2 root 5. So 2 root 5 is the radius in third form of the circle given by the equation xi2 all squared plus y minus 5 all squared equals 20. Oh no, beg your pardon. X minus 2 all squared plus y plus 5 all squared equals 20. Alright. Section 2, Center and Radius by CTS. Find the center and radius of the circle x squared at y squared minus 6x plus 4y minus 12 equals 0. Alright, the center is negative 3, 2 and the radius is 5. The center is negative 3, 2 and the radius is 5 of the circle given by the equation x squared at y squared take 6x at 4y take 12 equals 0. Find the center and radius of the circle given by x squared at y squared take 8x equals 0. Okay, so 4, 0 is the center and the radius is 4. So 4, 0 is the center and the radius is 4 of the circle given by the equation x squared at y squared minus 8x equals 0. Hello. Alright, so that might be reaching my limit for just this session.